This past weekend, the world got to witness the effects of Trumpism on the American psyche, and the Europeans got the last laugh. So in this video, I'm going to break down what happened in the Ryder Cup, the controversy coming out of this golf tournament that led to some very stern comments from one of the European golfers. So first, this was a few years ago. Ryder Cup Europe tweeted this out. This is 2023. When Rory McIlroy said this.
So I've said this for the last probably 6 or 7 years to anyone that will listen. I think one of the biggest accomplishments in golf right now is winning an away Ryder Cup. And that's what we're going to do at Bethpage.
Go on, Rory. Yeah.
Winning an away Ryder Cup was their goal a couple years ago. And that is exactly what happened. Here they are enjoying it. And there's a lot of videos on the timeline showcasing their enjoyment of it. But let's get to the controversy that came out of this tournament. So, Guardian headline here, U.S. fan ugliness at the Ryder Cup was merely a reflection of Trump's all caps America. I think this is a great piece from Brian Armin Graham. I will link to it below the video, but I'm going to quote it a couple times here. He says, there's a difference between atmosphere and interference, and Bethpage, being the golf tournament, spent too much of the weekend blurring the two. Boos during practice swings and the sing-song USA, USA after a European miss were tiresome but survivable. What crept in on Saturday was different. Insults aimed at players' wives, homophobic slurs, cheap shots at McIlroy's nationality, dripping with tiresome stereotypes, gleeful reminders of Pinehurst the moment McIlroy crouched over anything inside 5 feet. So here's an example. It's not like it was a few people in the crowd yelling out during swings. This was the MC of the event. This is the MC of the event leading a "fuck you, Rory" chant. I mean, you know, she was fired. To their credit, I suppose. Ryder Cup MC apologizes and steps down over foul-mouthed McIlroy chant. So good, but why did it get to that point? This is a golf tournament. It's not something you normally expect at a golf tournament. This as well, new video shows Ryder Cup fan throwing beer at Rory McIlroy's wife. So the clip is, there's a little more context here, I suppose. Somebody apparently hit the cup out of the guy's hand, but still, then it's that guy's fault for hitting the cup out of this guy's hand that was clearly directed at his wife. Like, just incredibly embarrassing stuff. There was this. It got to the point where McIlroy had to tell someone to shut the fuck up.
Guys, shut the fuck up.
So good on him for doing that. But like this, I'm not sure how much golf I can play on here without a copyright strike. So I'm playing this clip off of television. But the boos coming in while he's waiting for silence so he could putt.
It makes them so determined. You can see it. It's, once it does simmer.
He just says, I'm not going to putt until they start counting.
I just don't understand how people can be so obnoxious. So that Guardian piece goes on to write, the algorithm bankrolls outrage, the put down is political vernacular, and the culture applauds, quote, saying the quiet part out loud, end quote. In 2025, you can say almost anything in public and be cheered for it unless you're Jimmy Kimmel. Put a rope line and a microphone in front of that mix and you get exactly what you got at the Ryder Cup. People testing boundaries, not because the moment needs them to, but because they've been told volume is virtue. And where have they learned that? This is a great clip from CNN where Adam Mockler here reminds us what started this entire culture.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired of conservatives gaslighting about the current political environment and Donald Trump's rhetoric when
All of this escalation can be traced back to his entrance into American politics. His claim to fame was saying that Obama wasn't born in America. He was the first presidential candidate to have his crowd chant, "Lock her up," about a political opponent. You can bring up the insurrection. Even in the past few weeks, my home city of Chicago, he posted a photo of Chicago being invaded by the Department of War. So the broader point here is Donald Trump endlessly deflects and tries to blame it on the other side when he is the one responsible for amping up the tension in America. And I've spent all of my formative years throughout high school, throughout college, looking to the president, who I'm supposed to be able to look up to, and seeing somebody who's trying to place blame on the left, who's amping up the rhetoric constantly. And yeah, it's not good.
I want you to take a moment. Think back 10, 15 years ago. What your life was like, what culture was like back then, especially if you're American, but even if you're not, we know Trump has had an impact globally in terms of, at the very least, culturally. Think about how things were like. Discussions about whether it's politics or not politics. Think of how less divisive things were. Everything has become worse since Donald Trump has entered politics. Worse in terms of material conditions, worse for Americans clearly, but also just culturally. Everything has become vile, obnoxious, disgusting, fact-free, and it has bled into all parts of our life. Like, sport is an element that conservatives used to complain, oh, we got to keep politics out of sports. Yet here you have the dipshit himself. Of course, he swung by the Ryder Cup, soaking up fans' love after vowing revenge on more of his enemies. Here is Rory McIlroy speaking after their victory.
I don't think we should ever accept that in golf. I think golf should be held to a higher standard than what was, than what was seen out there this week. Golf has the ability to unite people. Golf teaches you very good life lessons. It teaches you etiquette. It teaches you how to play by the rules. It teaches you how to respect people. And, sometimes this week we didn't see that. So, no, this should not be what is acceptable in the Ryder Cup. But, we will be making sure to say to our fans in Ireland in 2027 that, what happened here this week is not acceptable. And it's, for me, it's, come and support your home team. Come and support your team. I think if I was an American, I would be annoyed that I didn't hear a lot of shouts for Scotty today, but I heard a lot of shouts against me. And it's like, support your players. That's the thing. So, look, it was a rough week for all of us. But at the same time, we shut them up by our performance and how we played, and we tried to, I tripped back a few times because it got to me a few times, but we tried to handle everything that came our way with class and poise, and for the most part, I felt like we did that.
I don't think we should have to expect people to respond with class, with poise, when faced with this level of garbage, be it sport or politics. We shouldn't have to be the quote unquote, adults in the room. When you're dealing with people like this and they're the ones in control, they're the ones with the power. No, I don't think we should just stand by and be classy about it. These are absolutely vile, disgusting people that are leading the largest, most powerful country in the world. And when fans of that, when the society that accepts that wants that, is continuing to propagate this sort of disgusting behavior, this gross culture, we should be able to call that out and do it in a way that doesn't require us to have to be on our best behavior all the time. That doesn't mean getting violent. That doesn't mean, going above and beyond. But we should not have to expect, whether it's these individuals, whether it's golfers, whether it's politicians, we shouldn't expect these people to react kindly to objectionable behavior. So I also want to share that the great video to come out of the victory. Are you watching Donald Trump? Europe trolls president after winning golf's Ryder Cup. Here is that clip.
Are you watching? Are you watching? Are you watching Donald Trump? Are you watching Donald Trump?
A little fun there from Team Europe. Now, I did some digging. I tried to find the original upload of that video. And article after article kept coming back to Donald Trump's upload of it. And based on at least one article that I read, it sounded like this was actually a private exchange between Trump and the European team. I guess he had messaged them after they won, and they replied with this video. And he's the one that went to upload it with, "Yes, I'm watching. Congratulations," which I find to be a very un-Trumpian response to a moment like this. This is somebody, like, can you imagine, for example, Zoran Mamdani winning the New York City race for mayor, which he's expected to do. But, you know, Trump is putting a lot of effort into trying to defeat him, backing Andrew Cuomo. Imagine Mamdani comes out with a video like this. Do you think Trump's replying saying, "Yes, I'm watching. Congratulations"? No. But Trump so badly wants to be accepted by who he views to be the cool kids. And for him, a bunch of skilled golfers, something he'll never be. He wants to be accepted by that group. So he's going to be, you know, conciliatory in that moment. Contrast that with the reaction after U.S. lost to Canada in the Four Nations face-off. Quote, "We won the first game. The second game was a great game. We could have gone either way. Justin's a loser. Always has been," Trump said. And, you know, he's just a guy that really doesn't, I think he's done a very bad job for Canada. Justin's sort of a nice guy, but he's a loser. Very different in tone when the U.S. lost that, because Trump doesn't care about Canada, about Canadian hockey players. He's not going to be conciliatory towards Canadian hockey players. He has no aspirations to be a hockey player. So it's a very different sort of response. Last clip I want to play here is just this fun moment from Team Europe.
With all that in mind, everything you go through, how satisfying is it to turn around to someone and say, quote, "Shut the F up," and then stiff it to 2 feet?
Very fucking satisfying.
Congratulations.
It wasn't stiff. I had to put it.